June 15, 1944, Normandy. Private James Ryan was surrounded. 200 German soldiers advancing, ammo for 3 more minutes, no reinforcements. 6 wounded men depending on him, surrender or do the unthinkable. He chose the third option and changed the course of the battle. This is the true story of the man who saved an entire company, using only 1 rifle, 2 grenades, and pure courage. We're in June 1944, 6 days after D-Day. Allied forces just stormed the beaches of Normandy. But the battle didn't end at the beach. Now comes the hardest part. Advancing through the French countryside, filled with German entrenchments. The Germans are fighting back with fury. Every meter costs lives. Panzer divisions are being repositioned. Hitler's order, don't give an inch. It's in this scenario of absolute chaos that our story begins. James Ryan was 24 years old. Before the war, he was a farmer in Iowa. Woke up at 5 a.m. to milk cows, dreamed of expanding his family's farm. But in December 1941, Pearl Harbor was attacked. James and his 3 brothers enlisted on the same day. He wasn't a career soldier, had no special training, just a farm boy who knew how to shoot rabbits. But he had one thing: he never gave up on anything. On June 15th, Baker Company received a mission. Advance 2 kilometers, cross a small town called Carentan, and establish a defensive position on the other side. Seemed simple. Intelligence said the area was clear. Intelligence was wrong. They started the march at 600 hours, 120 men from Baker Company. James was in the middle of the column, carrying an M1 Garand rifle. The mood was tense, but everything seemed quiet. At 07:15, they entered Carentan. Empty streets, absolute silence. Too quiet, James thought. His farmer's instinct detected danger, like when you sense a predator near your cattle. They advanced another 200 meters. That's when hell broke loose. Crack, crack, crack. Rifle shots from the windows. Rat-a-tat-tat-ta. MG-42 machine guns opened fire. It was a perfectly planned ambush. The Germans were waiting for them. In the first 30 seconds, 15 men went down. The captain yelled, "Cover, take cover!" But there was no cover. It was an open street. They were sitting ducks. James threw himself behind a low wall, bullets ricocheting all around him. The soldier next to him took a round to the chest, fell without a sound. The captain tried to organize a retreat, but took a bullet to the head. The lieutenant took command. "Fall back! Everyone fall back!" But falling back meant running 200 meters across open ground, under heavy fire from MG-42s, firing 100-200 rounds per minute. Half the company couldn't make it back. They were pinned down. 60 men behind walls, destroyed cars, anything they could find, surrounded by German soldiers advancing through side streets. James was with a group of 12 men behind an overturned truck. Sergeant Mitchell counted ammo. 2 clips per man, maybe 3 minutes. "And then what?" someone asked. Mitchell didn't answer. James looked around. 3 wounded men, everyone scared. Some crying, one praying quietly. He thought about the farm, his parents, his brothers. "I'm not dying here," he thought. "Not like this." That's when he noticed something. The MG-42s were in fixed positions. 2 in second-floor windows on the left, 1 on the roof to the right. They covered the main street, but not the side alleys. "Sergeant," James said, "that alley there, 40 meters to the right, the machine guns don't cover it. If we get there, we flank them." Mitchell looked. "That's 40 meters of open ground. You won't make it halfway." "But if I do," James said, "you follow." Mitchell grabbed his arm. "Kid, that's suicide." James smiled. "Sergeant, everything here is suicide." He checked his rifle. Full clip, 8 rounds. 2 grenades on his belt. Took 3 deep breaths. Thought about the farm one last time and ran. The first 10 meters were a miracle. The MG-42s were firing at another group. At 15 meters, a German sniper spotted him, fired, missed by inches. At 25 meters, an MG-42 burst. James dove, rolled, kept going. At 35 meters, he felt an impact on his backpack. A bullet went through it. At 40 meters, he dove into the alley. He made it. He was alive. Behind him, Mitchell yelled, "Go, go, go!" The other 11 men ran. 9 made it. 2 fell along the way. Now they were in the alley, temporarily protected. "Now what?" a soldier asked. James was already thinking. The MG-42s are in that building. If we come from behind, we catch them by surprise. But it has to be fast, before they realize we're here. Mitchell nodded. You lead, we follow. James, the Iowa farmer, was now the de facto commander. They moved through the alley, silently, weapons ready. Reached the back of the building, door locked. James didn't think twice, kicked it, the door gave way. They entered. Narrow staircase. Upstairs, they heard the MG-42s firing. Rat-a-tat-ta-ta, rat-a-tat-ta-ta, killing Americans outside. James went up first. Every step creaked. Heart at 200 beats per minute, hands sweating on the rifle. Second floor, open door to the left. James peeked. 4 Germans operating 2 MG-42s. Backs turned to him, focused on the windows. James signaled the others. 4 enemies, no noise. He entered the room, silently. When Germans started to turn, James fired first. Bang, 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 bang. 4 shots, 4 kills. The MG-42s went silent. Outside, the Americans noticed. But it wasn't over. Shouts in German from the other room. The other MG-42 crew, they knew there were enemies inside. James grabbed a grenade, pulled the pin, counted. 1, 2, 3, threw it through the other room's door. Boom! The explosion shook the building. Silence. The MG-42s stopped completely. Down in the street, the Germans lost their advantage. Without the machine guns providing cover, the Americans counterattacked. Mitchell led a charge down the main street. The trapped men joined the assault. The Germans, caught off guard, started retreating. James and his team came down from the building, joined the final push. By 0753 hours, Carrington was secure. Of the 120 men who started the march, 47 were killed or wounded. But without James's action, all 60 trapped men would have died. After the battle, Mitchell found James sitting against a wall, hands shaking, staring at nothing, the adrenaline wearing off. You saved us all, kid, Mitchell said. James looked up. I just wanted to go home, Sarge. For his actions that day, James Ryan received the Silver Star. The citation read, Extraordinary heroism in action against an armed enemy. But James never felt like a hero. He felt like a survivor. He fought through France, Belgium, and into Germany. Survived until the end of the war. Returned to Iowa in 1946. Married his sweetheart, Sarah. He never talked much about the war. When his children asked, he'd say, War doesn't make heroes. It makes survivors and ghosts. James Ryan died in 1998 at age 78. At his funeral, 7 old men showed up, survivors from that day in Carentan. They saluted the coffin, and one of them whispered, We're here because you were there. This story teaches us 3 tactical lessons. First, observe. James spotted the gap in enemy coverage. In combat, awareness saves lives. Always study your enemy's position. Second, flanking maneuvers. Frontal assaults against machine guns are suicide. Attack from an unexpected angle. Use terrain to your advantage. Third, leadership emerges in crisis. James wasn't an officer, but when leadership was needed, he stepped up. In war, rank matters less than courage and the ability to make decisions under fire. The MG-42, known as Hitler's buzzsaw, was one of the most feared weapons of World War II. Rate of fire, 1,200 rounds per minute, twice as fast as Allied machine guns. Its psychological impact was as deadly as its actual firepower. Now I want to hear from you. What battle should I cover next? Vietnam, the Pacific Theater, Desert Storm, modern conflicts? Comment below and let me know. If you know a veteran, leave their name in the comments. Let's honor those who served. They deserve to be remembered. Subscribe and hit that bell because next week I'm telling the story of the soldier who saved 75 men without firing a single shot. Desmond Doss, the conscientious objector who became a Medal of Honor recipient. Before you go, remember this. Heroes aren't born. They're ordinary people who, in extraordinary circumstances, choose to act when others freeze. James Ryan was a farmer, not a superhero. But when the moment came, he ran toward danger, not away from it. That's what separates survivors from victims. One decision, one moment. Thank you for watching. See you in the next story. And remember, freedom isn't free. It was paid for by people like James Ryan.